Your free period? So you're playing Star Spangled? Okay. Yeah, I guess. You can do it better. I could have breathed more.
So we won't slow down.
Reflip.
Sitting there great.
Good morning. Welcome. I'm Steve Quaterer, principal at Mississinewa High School, and on behalf of Mississinewa Community Schools, we welcome you to the third annual Civil Rights Commemoration here at Mississinewa Community Schools. We're excited. We're thankful that you're here as we honor the civil rights movement here in the United States. We are proud of the work that our teams have put in, our band, our choir, our media team, and you are in for a special treat. At this time, I'd ask that everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd ask that you remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Change doesn't come easy. It takes everyone making the effort to bring about change in our world. In the words of Dr. King, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Our first song describes how we start with one, then we add another, and keep adding more until change comes about. Now is the time.
As many of you know, a couple of weeks ago, I lost my sister, Chloe Martin. Today, as we celebrate MLK Day, I would like to take a moment to recognize her and dedicate this song to her.
Something to say. Gotta make some changes in the world today. Whoa, whoa, there's trouble in the world, there is no denying. Whoa, whoa, you know that too many people are dying. When we do nothing at all. Be the people who will lead the way. Hey. Raise your voices, start today. Whoa, whoa, there's trouble in the world, there is no denying. Whoa, whoa. Too many people are dying. Gotta change the world. Gotta change the world. Gotta change the world. Come on, people, get together. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa, whoa. There's trouble in the world. There is no denying. Whoa, whoa. Too many people are crying, dying. Gotta make some changes, gotta make some changes, gotta make some changes in the world. Whoa, change.
Please, we all need hope. Hope that there will be healing, hope for a better future, and hope for peace. Dr. King said we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. We owe it to ourselves and to our children to keep hope alive. Listen now as the Crimson Choir presents Give Us Hope.
Of all the feelings that a young person can have, there's one that makes life seem desolate, empty, and sometimes not even worth living. When it is not there, hope. Hope for the future. Hope to be loved. Hope to be heard. When children are without hope, they are robbed of one of the most defining parts of their childhood. We must never underestimate the power of giving hope to a child.
The whispers of my heart speak so softly. Are they really there if no one hears them? My voice is so small and so soft. Can you hear me? Give us hope, and we'll show you the way.
Listen to the sound of my voice. Can you feel the beat of my heart? Listen to the questions I have. Listen to me. It's all very simple to see what we need. Give us
Oh, let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
This song was originally written in regards to social awareness, but in the end turned into a love song. But love is what changes people from the inside out. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. This song by Grammy Award winner Eric Clapton portrays this very same message, that love can change the world. Our soloist is Aaron Purdy.
Change the world. If I could be queen, even for a day, I'd take you as my king. I'd have it no other way. And our love will rule in this kingdom we have made. Does our people fool, wishing for the day? Change the world, change the world. I'll be the sunlight in your universe. You think my love was really something good? Baby, if I could change, 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 if I could change the world. If I could change the world.
Director Ava DuVernay's Soma tells the story of how the revered leader and visionary Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his brothers and sisters in the movement prompted change that forever altered history. The unforgettable true story that chronicles the tumultuous 3-month period in 1965 when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. led a dangerous campaign to secure equal voting rights in the face of violent opposition. The epic march from Selma to Montgomery culminated in President Johnson signing the Voting Rights Act of 1965, one of the most significant victories for the civil rights movement. Ole Miss Singers presents the award-winning song from this great film, Glory.
One day,
When the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory.
glory, glory,
Oh,
glory.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon. Formed against, yes, glory is destined. Every day, women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all, just ain't specific enough.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, 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 glory.
Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, but we'll fight on to the finish. And then when it's all done, we'll cry glory,
Glory,
oh glory,
glory,
oh.
Biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing. Our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dreams we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win the war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The free Lord, my eyes have seen the glory.
one day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory,
Inspired by the late Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, our next song conveys images of promise, solidarity, and triumph. In his speech, Dr. King spoke of equality for all in our society. As our country seeks to heal and unite once again with one another, we present to you our next song entitled Unity.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I would want to spend the day with Martin Luther King Jr. because of the history he has made. He is best known for his I Have a Dream speech, but there's so much more than that. Ever since he was just a young boy, he was very smart, as he passed 2 grades in school and was able to go into college when he was only 15 years old. He became involved in civil rights soon after Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on that bus. With this came much impact. He made a big difference in history, so here we are today. He attended and held many protests for equal rights. Even though many people of all colors were furious about the racial inequality, a big number of protests stayed peaceful. He was put into jail plenty of times for wanting equality between white people and black people. But that wasn't all he put at risk. He risked his own life for this movement, and as soon as he realized he had made enemies, he gave his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech. The day after, April 4th, 1968, he was shot and killed in Memphis, Tennessee, in which that concludes why I want to meet him, the impact on history he made, and for the amazing person he was. Talking about his history impact, we can confirm the drastic changes that were made. Now there are over 750 streets named after him. Back then, people that differed colors had to use different restrooms compared to people that didn't. Now we all share one. Everyone can have an equal chance at getting jobs and having good school experiences. Today, rather than in his day, there are no laws about who can sit where on a bus. And there's probably much more, but that is the main adjustments that have differed. Black people and other people of color in general still deal with some oppression, but we have made a pretty drastic change within history and within time. I think if Martin was here today, he would agree with many things that are being done, like the Black Lives Matter protests. In conclusion, Martin Luther King Jr. was a great man that stood up for people of color and for basic equality, which was much needed. And now we have all grown so much from him. I personally thank Martin Luther King Jr. for everything he did. It cost him his life to change so many other lives. He changed history for the better good. He fulfilled his dream.
Dear Dr. King, throughout the course of history, time and time again, there have been many tremendous efforts taken into consideration in an attempt to move the wheels of history forward. However, those wheels seem to be at a halt until the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s, led by you. This movement was truly an awakening, a time of hardships, yet a battle that was truly worth fighting. With the power that you built and mustered up, you gave thousands and thousands of people the confidence and opportunity to truly fight for what they believed in, equality for everyone. Because of you, these people who had sat and remained silent for years and had taken their poor treatment, it is because of you that these people took a stand and let it be known that they would no longer accept the abuse of a racial hierarchy. One of the biggest reasons your movement succeeded and backed so many people was because of the nature in which you were pursuing your goals and hopes regarding a future free from discrimination and segregation. You created an entire movement based on the idea of peaceful protesting, and you possess the ability to sincerely move people with just your words, strong words of love, hope, and extreme passion. Your I Have a Dream speech, which was delivered to 250,000 people from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., will forever be remembered not only as a huge milestone in the civil rights movement, but also as one of the most iconic, passionate speeches to ever be given in U.S. history. One of your most famous and well-known quotes is, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And with those words right there, you began to change history. Now, even in the world that we currently live in, living in 2021, our country still faces a great amount of injustice, racism, and overall lacking in the unity that you had always hoped that we would have by now. The Black Lives Matter movement, which began as nothing more than a simple tweet in July of 2013, turned into a series of protests and a fight for rights, but also had its fair share of flaws, including examples of rioting, looting, etc. I believe that if you could give a message to the people now who are working so hard to fight for their rights, that you would remind them that a peaceful protest is the most effective way to speak your mind and to speak up for what you believe in. One of your most famous quotes says, The limitation of riots, moral questions aside, is that they cannot win and that their participants know it. Hence, rioting is not revolutionary, but reactionary because it invites defeat. It involves an emotional catharsis, but it must be followed by a sense of futility. You believe that rioting, rather than peaceful protesting, would further divide the people, rather than unite them. And our country is living proof of that right now. While there has been so much progress from your time of participation in the civil rights movement to now, in 2021, the real truth that our country and people have to face is that our nation is an open wound and that wound is still going to take a lot of time to heal. As you once said, man must evolve for all human conflict, a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation, and the foundation of such a method is none other than love. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of our program today. Would you please join me one more time as we thank the band, the choirs, our student media, TribeTV media team, as well as the Mississinewa High School Social Studies Department, and our outstanding speakers. Please join me in thanking them one more time. I would like to close today's program by reading an excerpt from Amanda Gorman, the nation's first ever youth poet laureate, who read her poem, The Hill We Climb, during the inauguration this Wednesday. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not what stands between us, but what stands before us. Thank you again for participating and commemorating the Civil Rights Movement with us. And remember, as you leave, the words of Dr. King, the time is always right to do right. Thank you again.